Hear me. I know you're gonna dig this.
They'll go to second for one, and now they got the man trapped at third and tagging out. And second and two, handoff goes to McCaffrey up the middle, finds a little room, lot more room, and he's off to the races.
Welcome to the In the Zone Sports Talk Radio Network. You're listening to the Just Us Sports Talk Show with your host, Kate Diggs from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, the sports city with the large heart, and co-host Dana the Hater Clark from St. Petersburg, Florida. Also co-hosting Murray E. Baskerville from Gotta Be More Careful, Baltimore, Maryland. These are your hosts, bringing you the ultimate in sports for the ultimate sports fan. Be sure to download the Try 99 TV app on any smart device and subscribe to In the Zone Sports Talk Television. The cost is $4.95. Thank you in advance for your support. Now sit back and prepare to get into another episode of the Just Us Sports Talk Show.
Hear me. I know you're gonna dig this.
What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? How y'all doing out there? It is September the 2nd, 2024. We are 3 days away from the NFL start. Oh man, it's here. It is here, baby. And you know what? Every team out there, other than, I'm gonna say it, other than, I'm gonna say the name, Arizona Cardinals, Las Vegas Raiders, everybody's team think they got a chance to win the Super Bowl this year. Other than them two teams, I just don't see them doing nothing this year at all. I'm back, ladies and gentlemen. I had a great vacation out of Vegas. It was a blur. Went to the football game. I wanted to go to the comedy show, but everybody said, let's go to the football game. So we went to the football game. Had a nice time at the game. We got razzed because I had a jersey. I had my Rams jersey on. My one friend had a Baltimore jersey on. One friend had a Cowboy jersey on. One friend had a Steelers jersey on. Two guys had Steelers jersey on. So people looking at us like, what are y'all doing here? Why are y'all here? What's going on? You know, they looking at us. And so at the end of the game, right, we are sitting outside. Had a young lady with a Charger jersey come sit down beside us, take a picture. Had a guy with a Patriot jersey come beside us, take a picture. I think a guy with a Tennessee Titans jersey came on and took a picture with us. So I had a great time, man. I really had a great time. Our draft went well. My team's okay. It ain't the greatest. I was the number 7, right? I hate picking 7 and 8. I really do. I'd rather pick 9, 10, or 11, to be honest with you. And it's okay. You know, first game of season, I'm down like a couple points. Like I'm projected to go 119, and the guy I'm playing, he's like 128. But I got some guys I think gonna break out this season, do their thing. But anyway, welcome back, everybody. Also, a happy birthday to all the September babies out there. Wish you the best birthday in the world. Enjoy your day, enjoy your month. We have Dana on the line. Dana, you there? Dana? Rich?
Hello?
Rich? Okay, we got Rich out there. Rich?
I'm out here.
All right. And we got Matthew. Matthew, you there?
Yep, I'm here.
All right. So, we're going to talk a little baseball, and then we're going to move on to some more exciting stuff, like some football information, some stuff. We got a pick 'em coming up for you. Look like we have, is that Mo? We got Mo on the line.
Yes, sir.
All right. So, let's get to it. And guys, I didn't realize this, man, until I looked at the standings. The Los Angeles Dodgers got the best record in Major League Baseball right now. what in the world is going on? I'm like, I just don't. I mean, they played okay, but man, I don't know about all that. I mean, I don't know if they can. You know, I'm a Dodger fan, but I'm a little skeptical right now. But they've been playing good baseball. But they got the 82 wins. Wow. But anyway, let's go ahead and start off in American League. You got the New York Yankees 79-58, and you got the Baltimore Orioles 79-59, a half game out of first place. Yankees have lost 2 in a row. They're 5-5 in the last 10, and the Orioles have won 1 game. They're 5-5 in the last 10. They both have like 99.9% and 99.6% of making the playoffs. In the division, next one close is the Baltimore Red Sox, who are 70-68, 9 games out of first place. They have 15.9% making the playoffs. But I know that Rich is happy for them because they have a winning record, and he didn't think they were going to do anything this year. Okay, in the Central Division, Cleveland pretty much had this thing wrapped up, but now it looking kind of tight. Somebody's panties up in the wad right now. Cleveland Guardians are 78-59. They won 1 game. They're 5-5 in the last 10. They have a 98.8% chance of making the playoffs. Minnesota Twins, ladies and gentlemen, are 74-62. They're 3.5 games out of first place. Won 1 game. They're 4-6 in the last 10. They have a 91.8% chance. Kansas City Royals are 75-63. They're 3.5 games out of first place as well. They have a 79.9% chance of making the playoffs. Detroit Tigers are 70-68. They have 8.5. They up there out of first place by 8.5 games. They won 2 in a row. They're 8-2 in the last 30% of making the playoffs at 7.4. And basically, what that means, ladies and gentlemen, is that their schedule is a lot tougher than the schedule of teams in front of them in order for them to make the playoffs. But to be 8 games out of first place for Detroit Tigers, that says something. And this goes to show you how tight everything is right now. There's only one team that's eliminated from baseball playoffs, and that's the Chicago White Sox. They're 31 in 107 games losses. They're 47.5 games out of first place. They have lost 10 in a row, 0-10. Their percentage of making the playoffs is 0.0%, and not good. In the West, the Houston Astros they didn't came out of nowhere, ladies and gentlemen. And I know Matthew ain't too happy about this one. They're 75-62. They won 4 games in a row. They're 64. They're 64 in the last 10. They have a 98.4% chance of making the playoff. The Seattle Mariners, 69-68. Lost 6 games. They're 6 games behind. Lost 2 in a row. They're 5-5 in the last 10. Their percentage of making the playoffs is a 7.4% chance. I don't know what happened. They was right there most of the year. This has become an ongoing thing for Seattle. Now I know they fired their manager in the middle of the season, which I don't understand why they do that. Just let him stew in his own brew, and go ahead and find somebody else because, Seattle's like they just waiting for this. Maybe they were just waiting for the season to be over and they're packing their bags or whatever the case may be. But I like Seattle for some reason or another. I don't know if it's because of Ken Griffey Jr. that was there, but Seattle just can't get over that hump the latter part of the season. They start off slow and they end up slow. In the National League East, the Philadelphia Phillies, 81-56. This is a strange thing, ladies and gentlemen. They're only 3 games above 500 away from home. So that means they don't play too good at home. I mean, don't play too well away from home. They won 2 games in a row. They're 73 in the last 10. They're 99.8% chance of making the playoffs. The Atlanta Braves are 74-63. 7 games out of first place. Lost 2 games in a row. 64 in the last 10. They have a 76% chance of making the playoffs. And I wonder, is that in playoffs in general? Because I think they're in the wild card chase. They're in the wild card. They're the 3rd team in the wild card, if I'm not mistaken. New York Mets are 73-64. They're 8 games out of first place. They won 4 in a row. They're 73 in the last 10. Their percentage of making the playoffs is 28.6%. Right? In the Central Division, this is the only one that's comfortable in their skin right now. It's the Milwaukee Brewers. They're 80-57. They lost 1 game to 73 in the last 10. They're 99.6% chance of making the playoffs. Chicago Cubs, 71-66. 9 games out of first place. Won 6 in a row. 9-1 at the 9-1 in the last 10 games. 7.1% chance of making the playoffs. The St. Louis Cardinals are 69-68. 11 games out of first place. Won 2 games in a row. They're 64 in the last 10. They got 1.7% chance of making the playoffs. Out west, the Dodgers are 82-55. They don't play good away from home either. They're 37-31 away from home, 6 games above 500. That's not good either. But they're lost one game, 73 in the last 10. They're 99.9% chance of making the playoffs. Arizona Diamondbacks are 77-60, 5.5 games out of first place. Won one game, 64 in the last 10. They have a 90.7% chance of making the playoffs. The Padres are 78-61, 5 games out of first place. Won one game, 64 in the last 10. They have a 95.6% chance of making the playoffs. So, from looking at this, the Braves might not make the playoffs. I mean, they might be fighting for the wild card position. But in the American League, in the wild card position, you have the Baltimore Orioles, the Twins, the Royals. You got Boston. Okay, I don't know if it's going to happen for that way. In the National League, you have Diamondbacks, the Padres, the Braves, and the Mets fighting for those 3 positions. Now, the weird thing about this is that Diamondbacks went to World Series last year, so they are a good team. Okay, the Padres didn't make the playoffs last year, or did they? I can't remember. No, they I don't think they made the playoffs last year. But these are wild card teams, and I'm gonna say this: all 3 of the wild card teams are dangerous teams. The Diamondbacks, the Padres, and the Mets are. They've had some Diamondbacks. I don't know about the Diamondbacks, but they've been pretty consistent. The Braves had some guys that's injured, which kind of set them back a little bit. The Padres they've been up and down all season long, but they've finally been consistent about winning some games. And the Braves, like I said, had some injuries come across the table. The Mets, I really don't know what's going on with the Mets. They're just playing good baseball. 73-64, they're just playing good baseball. So next week we'll probably look more into the wild card positioning and see who's where and who's going to make that jump, because September is here, and you know what happens at the end of September. It's October and the playoffs start. Even though I don't like the playoffs, the way they have this wild card mess, I'm not happy with it. So let's go ahead and let me see who we got. Let's go with Mo. Mo, talk to me about them Yankees, man. They holding on. What's the outcome, brother?
All right, so we are holding on. The one thing I have concerns about is we are getting healthy at the right time. But right now we're playing 500 ball. So we play well one game, we don't pitch well the next game. We pitch game 1 well, we don't hit. We just got to put it all together. So I think we have what we need to be a championship team. The only thing I worry about is the back end of our bullpen, because we're blowing way too many saves.
Okay, because look, I'm looking at your last 5 games. You lost 4 games out of 7. It is you lost. Washington took 2 out of 3. St. Louis took 2 out of 3 from you guys. Now you have Texas, who's right there. Chicago's fighting. Kansas City's fighting. Boston's not really playing for anything. Seattle's not playing for anything. Oakland's not playing for Baltimore. You have Baltimore and Pittsburgh. So you just gotta be consistently winning games, but you got more teams out of it that's in it. So that Baltimore series, that 3-game series, that might be the tattletale at the end of the season, September 24th, 25th, and 26th.
Yeah, it sucked to lose 2 at the National. It just really sucked. And then losing 2 against the Cardinals at home. Just bad, man.
Yeah.
It's just inconsistent.
The game's been played. The games have already started. So I got Houston losing to Cincinnati. Houston's down at the top of the 9th. Cincinnati's up on Houston 5-3. End of the 8th, the Dodgers 11-4 against Arizona Diamondbacks. Seattle's 2-0 to Oakland on the top of the 1st. Minnesota is losing to Tampa on top of the 2nd. And top of the 3rd is Detroit 0 and San Diego 0. So they got something to play for. Now the Dodgers got beat the other day. It was like 14-3 or something like that. And then I think I lost track of time or whatever the case may be. But I looked at the schedule. That's when I figured. I said, "Wow, they got the best record." I'm like, "Wow, those guys are playing good baseball." Mo, Curry, talk to me about the Braves, man. How you think they fared against Philly in that series? I think they lost 2 out of 3 or something like that to the Phillies just recently.
Yeah, they did. I don't know. I don't know what's. I figured they would have made a move here or there to get some people, but obviously they did not. So, but what they have, I just don't know if they can overcome. They down seven games now. I think the magic number is creeping up on them to where they're not going to catch up. So
yeah, look at
maybe the wild card.
Yeah, looking at them right now. They got Colorado, Toronto. They got Colorado. Is that at home? They at home against Colorado, Toronto. Then they play one game against Cincinnati. Then they go at Washington. Then the Dodgers come out there for 4 games. Is that 4? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 games against the Dodgers. Then they go at Cincinnati, at Miami, New York, and Kansas City. So it kind of ends New York and Kansas City. Miami, they can mix. They could basically do something at the wild card, position. I don't think they're gonna catch Philly. But it's kind of strange. I want to see how they react to playing in the wild card. I don't agree with it because you continue to get the chance to play with no time off. But again, they've had some injuries, so you can't be too mad at them for hanging in where they're at right now. Matthew, talk to me about your Seattle Mariners. What's your thoughts for them next season? Because it's pretty much over for them this season. They can't. I don't even think they can get into the wild card, if I'm not mistaken. They're 69. They're like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're 6 teams out of the wild card spot. Do you think they can make a move to get to the wild card spot?
By the way that we've been playing in the last 12 games, majority of those games have been close. So it's been coming down to, like I said earlier, after the All-Star break, it's minor problems that are causing this larger negative outcome right now. And it usually comes down to the pitching towards the end of the game or the hitting towards the middle of the game. Other than that, the starting pitchers have been doing what they've been doing their best at. But other than that, there's really nothing much we can do unless we bring some chemistry, like watch film on where these players prepares as team as a whole and solve the problems when it comes to the batting and the hitting. Other than that, the only thing we can do is call up people from AAA and AA, and that's if they even have that talent to be in the majors right now.
Okay. So let me ask you a question, because you said a lot of it has to do with hitting and pitching. Are you okay? Are you okay with the way pitchers pitch into maybe the 7th inning and then they're done? Do you think that your pitchers should pitch a little bit longer than the 6th, maybe, pushing it more like to the 7th, 8th inning? Because they pitch like once every 4 days, or every 5 days. You know what I'm saying? Because if the pitching, if your pitching is good, it's your bullpen that has an issue. Wouldn't you want your pitchers to probably pitch a little bit longer?
I agree with that. Like, there's some pitchers on the Mariners that could go to the late 7th, 8th, or even the 9th if need be. And like with George Kirby and Luis Castillo, those two could probably go for a good 8 innings and then bring in someone who's able to bring in a strong push to get a win or a comeback to where the hitting that.
Okay.
But for the most part, it just comes down to those people in the bullpen. There are times where it could be just one little pitch and it ruins the whole mood. And injury isn't a problem we only have 2 players out for IL on 15, and then Sam Haggerty, who's on a 60-day IL, but they're not those big players out we're seeing.
Okay.
But yeah.
All right. Rich, Boston Red Sox. I think the Arizona Diamondbacks series killed them. They lost 4 to Arizona. They came back and won 2 out of 3 against Toronto. 2 out of 4 against Toronto. They beat Detroit in 10 innings. They lost both the games to Detroit. Now you have New York. You had New York. You have Chicago at home. You got Baltimore at home. You go on the road against the Yankees. Then you go on the road against Tampa. You have Minnesota, Toronto, and you got Tampa at the end of the season. Do you think possibly that team can make a push to get into wild card position?
Absolutely not. We're just not. We're not built for the long haul. We were built to compete. We were built to play spoiler, I think. But I think that we're just not strong enough.
Okay. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, Rich is going to take over for Dana this week to do the pick'ems, and I left my paper. Oh, wait a minute. All right, let me see if I can pull it up here. Where's the NFL? Okay. So this part of the show, I'm leaving it to Rich and Sandman. Well, Richie Rich, that's my nickname I gave him, and the Sandman. This segment of the Pick'ems game. So you guys got it. I'm sit back and listen and comment whenever I can, and if not, I'll leave my comments to the end. So you guys got it.
All right. Well, Thursday to kick off the season, we have a huge matchup, like potentially AFC Championship to start the season, with the Ravens against the Chiefs, and they're in Kansas City. I'm taking the Ravens on the road in an upset.
Woo!
What you got, Matthew?
I think the Chiefs defense will be able to find a way, as the Ravens lost a lot of pieces to that defense over this past all season. So I'm going my guts with the Chiefs this week. Next, we got Friday night on Peacock, Friday night, as the Packers and Eagles are heading to Brazil, potentially, as we still don't know if this game's going to be played or not, due to weather conditions with air quality, but I'm going to go with the Packers. Rich, who you got?
I am taking the Packers also. I think that the Eagles lost some quality on defense. They did replace it with youth, but I got the Packers on this one.
Next, we have Sunday afternoon between the Steelers and Falcons. Rich, who you got?
I'm going to take the Steelers because Kirk Cousins is just new. I don't know how well he knows his team yet, so I'm going to take the Steelers.
Yeah, I'm going to go with you on that one. Just with the Steelers' chemistry on defense, I don't think the offense on Atlanta's sides are ready to be at that chemistry. So.
All right. Next up, we're going to do Cardinals at the Bills. Who you got, Matt?
I'm going to go with a wild card, and I'm going to pick the Cardinals. This is with the Bills, who they released during the free agency within the preseason. I feel like Arizona should win by a field goal. Who you got, Rich?
I am also going to take the Cardinals. I think MHJ is going to go ahead out here and do his thing, and I think McBride is also with all the changes at safety in Buffalo. I got the Cardinals. Trey McBride has a 100-yard, 2-touchdown day. And on to the Titans Bears. Caleb Williams gets his first win. I think the Titans are going to be tough as they get into the season, but out the gate, I think they're going to be a drag. I'm picking the Bears by 5.
I beg to differ. I'm taking Tennessee. And it's going to come down to Tony Pollard, because when Dallas released him, that was a big mistake. As we've seen, Pollard was a more stronger running back than the current running backs on the Cowboys roster. So I'm taking the Titans over the Bears. Next 1 o'clock game, we got New England at Cincinnati. I'm going to take Cincinnati, as Cincinnati has more stacked lineup currently than New England, as Patriots are going to take some time to get their new team into development. Rich, who you got?
I am also taking the Bengals. The Patriots are a dumpster fire. And I just don't see any chance of them beating the Bengals. They're not going to be able to keep up with points. I mean, the wide receiver core is, pedestrian at best. So I'm taking the Bengals.
Next 1 o'clock game, we got Houston Texans at the Indianapolis Colts. And I think the Texans are going to win it by 10 points at Indy, as they have a strong add-on of defense and strong add-on on offense from the stress all season. Who you got?
I got the Colts. Oh, I'm sorry. I have the Texans. I think that the addition of Danielle Hunter on the defense is going to have Richardson a little rattled, considering he hasn't played a football game in quite a while. I think Jonathan Taylor has a solid game, but it's just not going to be enough for what the Texans have to offer. They're going to get mauled, I'm going to say, by like 10. And next we have the Jaguars at Dolphins. I'm taking the Dolphins on this one. I don't believe in Trevor Lawrence even a little bit. Losing Calvin Ridley. I mean, even with Christian Kirk there is the number one. I don't believe in Trevor Lawrence. So I'm going to take the Dolphins.
Yeah, I disagree with you. I'm going to take the Jaguars on an upset in week 1, because I feel like Captain Kirk and doo-wop Trevor Lawrence are going to go out there and get their little win. I feel like Jaguars by 7. Next 1 o'clock game, we got Carolina at the Saints. And I feel like I'm going to go with the Saints here by about a field goal. It's going to be a tight end game. Both teams are even, in my opinion, but I feel like the Saints this year found more to get their chemistry going within watching film. So give me the Saints. Rich, who you got?
I'm going to roll the dice and take the Panthers on the road. I think Cuba has a good game. I think Deontay Johnson being added to the Panthers offense is going to prove to be enough to get the job done. And I think Brian Young has a solid game. I think he goes for 255 and 2 touchdowns. And I think that'll be enough.
Nice. Next 1 o'clock game, and final 1 o'clock game pick of the week. We got the Minnesota Vikings at the New York Giants. And with the Giants being who they are, I feel like they're going to get the win here. Just with the new add-ons that they got in free agency and the teammates within the quarterback room learning from each other within the film book. I got the Giants winning by 14. Rich, you got?
That is a bold statement. I'll take it, Minnesota. I don't think the Giants have enough coaching, ownership, fans. They're just getting enough of anything to beat the Vikings this week. Even with Sam Darnold starting at quarterback, he played in New York, so he knows what that's about. And I think that Minnesota goes ahead and runs it. He goes for 250. All right, next up, we have Raiders at Chargers. This game is probably the worst game of the week. I don't even know where to begin. I mean, there's competent coaching in LA for the Chargers, but the personnel is a little suspect. Where the Raiders have, to me, a little bit better personnel, but the coaching is hideous. So I'm going to take the Raiders on the road. I don't think Jim Harbaugh gets his first win at home. I think he's going to get his first win on the road. When he was with the San Francisco 49ers, he was a road warrior. And I think he's going to get his first win on the road. I got the Raiders by 3.
I agree with you, Rich, but not on the same reasoning as you have. I think the Raiders are going to win at the Chargers by 10 because with Max Crosby on defense and him getting that defense motivated, not only that, but the running back that they got, Dane Wright, and getting in the former coach from the Bengals joining the staff during the offseason to be a part of the team for this season within the assistant staff. I feel like the Raiders team is going to do well. I'm winning 31-21. Next up, we got Broncos at Seahawks. Richie, you got?
Another disaster, but I'm taking the Seahawks. I think the Seahawks defense is going to be formidable this year. I like their head coach. I like their defensive coordinator. I think that the Seahawks are going to be a little better than advertised. I think the Broncos take a step forward this year, but not this game. I think the Seahawks, I got the Seahawks by 7.
And I agree with you on that, Rich. I'll make sure to mail out that Seahawks gear for you for Christmas. But I feel like Seattle will win, but not with defense, but more so the offense, because with the new offense coordinator of Ryan Grubb, and which I've seen in the preseason, this Seahawks team's going to be reading a whole new playbook that we haven't seen in the NFL, and we're going to be getting quick pace because Ryan Grubb is that guy who knows how to run a quick offense on his college time. So I got Seattle winning by 6. Next, we got at 4:25, we got the Cleveland Clowns and the Dallas Cowgirls.
Hey now.
Sponsored by Tom Brady, who will be announcing this game as long as he doesn't agree with the Raiders' contract. I'm going to go with the Cleveland Clowns. It's just Dallas's defense. Like, Micah's out there. Like, Micah's like your only defensive player for Dallas, but other than that, I feel like Cleveland can find a way to turn up the heat and beat them by like 12 points. Rich, who you got?
I'm taking the Browns on this one. The Cowboys did upgrade a linebacker this year. However, the Browns' offensive line is probably top 30 in the NFL. So I'm going to take the Browns because they're going to dominate on the ground, and I think we're going to see Deshaun Watson come out of the backfield a few times as well. And I think Jerry Jeudy has a breakout game this week. And now we're moving on to the Commanders at Buccaneers. Another dumpster fire, but I'm taking the Buccaneers on this one. I think that the Commanders are not going to get their first win on the road, and not against a team that was in the playoffs last year. The Buccaneers didn't lose a whole lot. Mike Evans picked that win. They upgraded at running back. I just don't see where the Commanders have a shot in this one. I'm going to say Bucs win by 14.
Yeah, I disagree with you. I got the Commanders winning because not only winning, but winning by 10 points. And because of the add-ons they got, they stole Austin Eckler from the Chargers. And then they got Bobby Wagner to the defense, which he has, for each season, he's averaging over 100 total tackles. And for him at his age and the positioning at linebacker, for him to still get over 100 tackles by himself is impressive. And not only that, but with the new rookie quarterback, I feel like Daniels has that chemistry early compared to Williams, and I feel like the Commanders are going to win that Tampa.
Okay.
So who'd you pick for that, Matthew?
Next game.
Do you pick the Commanders?
What's that, Kev?
Do you pick the Commanders?
Yeah, yep.
Okay.
And on to Rams-Lions. The primetime game on Sunday. I am talking about upset in Detroit. I'm calling Rams win that one. I got Kyron going for 100. I got Puka and Cooper Cup doing their thing. And I think the Rams defense is ready to take on that Lions offense. The Lions did upgrade on defense. I like the Lions. I just don't like them this week.
See, I beg to differ. I'm going to take the Detroit Lions because, don't get me wrong, the Rams look decent when you look at it, but when you hear, like, the Rams don't have, like, that third or fourth wide receiver. Unlike the Lions, they can find, like, that positioning and go down the chart. Not only that, but the D-line, I feel it's going to put a lot of pressure on that Rams O-line. Give me Detroit by 6. And we're going to finish it out on Monday night as the New York Jets will be taking on the San Francisco 49ers at San Fran. Rich, who you got?
Okay. So, if Trev Williams shows up, I got the 49ers. if Trent doesn't show up, I got the Jets. But I'm going to take 49ers because that's my homer pick. So I'm going to take them. Let's go.
See, I beg to differ. I'm going to go with Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, and I'm going to go with the Jets. Because I feel like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, with the add-ons Mr. Rogers has added, I feel like he's going to make the 49ers his neighbor. So I'm going to go with the Jets on this one.
Well, in rebuttal to that, Aaron Rodgers is a regular season quarterback, and he does beat the Niners in the regular season, so I could see that. And that's our segment for this week.
For week 1.
All right, guys. Mo, Curry, Dana, do you guys have any questions for them for their picks right now?
I love the Cleveland Clowns.
Yeah, and I hate the Pittsburgh Steelers.
At least our name is right.
Whatever the case may be. All right, so since nobody,
I say the Browns can beat Cowboys by 3 touchdowns.
he said about 3 touchdowns. I don't know about all that. I don't know about all that, Dana, but I'll take it.
3 touchdowns.
I'll take that. Because if they beat the Cowboys by 3 touchdowns, this whole area in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, would be quiet as a church mouse. I'm telling you right now, they wouldn't be saying a thing. Them Cowboy fans would be quiet as a church mouse. I do have a question. So you guys got the Packers over the Eagles. Do you think losing Kelsey and Cox do you think that's the reason why they might lose this game, or do you think that there's some chaos going on in Philadelphia right now? But do you think losing the 2 veterans is going to be a big part of maybe the Eagles not being as good as everybody think they should be?
I feel like that is one of the big reasons with that. Not only that, but with the way that roster is, even though they have Saquon to mix, how well is that O-line going to be since Chelsea ain't there?
Okay.
Like, what is that O-line going to do for them? Is the O-line going to be motivated compared to what it was when he was there? And even if then,
Go ahead, Red.
Will Hurts be able to be thrilling, or is he going to be getting sacked more because the O-line ain't motivated because they don't got that motivator anymore?
Okay. Rich, you got a comment on that, or because I got something else I want to say too.
About the Eagles game?
Yes.
I just think the Packers are just better. I think they lost a lot on defense, and losing Kelsey was huge. I don't think Lane Johnson is going to be enough to anchor that line.
Okay.
I'm not but I hate the Eagles because of
that. All right, so I don't know if you heard Jalen Hurts talked about how he didn't have to do a lot on the offensive side of the ball because Kelsey was the one that's calling out the blitz packages. He was calling out the line shifts. He's calling out the blocking package. All that Kelsey did, right? And now Jalen has to do that. And I don't know if you heard the interview, but he says it's different now, so we'll see how I'll take the challenge on. To me, I think that's an issue right now because how is it that you have a quarterback that's not calling out the blitz packages and things of that nature? You have alignment, you have your center doing all of that. So you lose him. Now he has to do all the verbiage and all that stuff like that to get his line intact to catch the blitz package or the zone package or whatever he thinks they're going to throw at him. And I find it very odd of a quarterback not having that responsibility in the NFL. I'm going to say this, he probably is not the only one that's like that, but he's the only one that came out and said something about it. So that kind of, if I'm an Eagles fan, I have a concern. I have a really concern about that because I'm like, you didn't do what? I have a concern about that. I don't know if the center that they have.
And the weird thing is,
go ahead, Matthew.
we don't even know if he was even doing that in college. Because if this is like him coming out saying, like, hey, this is my first time doing these verbiage stuff, like, holy, then that's a problem for the Eagles. Like, that's like, we got to hit the film book real quick because, you know, it's going to be a big struggle for him if this is his first time actually doing this in his career.
Yeah, and that's my concern because I'm like, now I'm questioning your football IQ because we know he uses his legs a lot. You know what I'm saying? He can throw the ball and he uses his legs a lot. So I'm really concerned about that. Mo, what's your thoughts on that on the comment that Jalen Hurts said? Would you be concerned if you're an Eagles fan?
No, I think that Jalen Hurts is just really putting something out there that he probably shouldn't have said.
Okay.
That's all. I'm not really worried about it. I think it's more that they'll figure.
Okay. The Steelers game. Both of you guys got Pittsburgh beating Atlanta, and the comment you brought up was about the quarterback play. So if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, though. But the offensive coordinator that the Atlanta Falcons have was it quarterback coach or he did something offensively with the Minnesota Vikings in the past. I'm not for sure. I thought I heard something about that. And that was one of the reasons why he kind of chose Minnesota. I mean, because the reason why he chose the Falcons over Minnesota because of that situation right there. Of the guy, I don't know if he was I don't know if he was a quarterback coach, assistant offensive coordinator, something like that. But he had worked with Kirk Cousins before. I don't know if it was in Washington or if it was in Minnesota. But I think that right there, I think that may be a good thing for Atlanta because now them two know each other, you know, before, and the verbiage they know the verbiage together. Now I don't know who the offensive coordinator is right now, but I think he's more far. If this is true,
the offensive coordinator for the Falcons right now, Zach Robinson, on his coach history, he's been with the Rams as a quarterback coach, a wide receivers coach, back to a quarterback coach, and a pass game coordinator for the Rams. So this is his first stint with a different team.
Okay. What about the quarterback coach for Minnesota? Quarterback coach for Atlanta? Was he in Washington or was he with the Rams or something like that?
Let me look.
While he's looking it up, Mo, question for you, Pittsburgh Steelers. If quarterback that you got to start, Russell Wilson. If he's struggling in the first half, do you think that there's a possibility that Tomlin might pull him and put in Justin Fields? Do you think, or he gonna let him handle his business?
I think they're both going to play. I think they're going to have some plays that they're going to have for Justin Fields already. Okay. Or there also might be drives that Justin Fields has.
Okay.
Alrighty, so the QB coach, DJ Yates, former NFL quarterback.
Yeah.
He, as a coach, was the offensive assistant for the Texans back in 2019. Became the assistant QB coach for the Texans in 2020. And then went to Atlanta in 2021 to be the passing game specialist and wide receivers coach. And this season, he just became the QB coach.
Okay. Maybe I missed
So
it.
it might be something like when they might face each other.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Like back when Yates was in the league.
Who now? The Bears and the Titans. I forgot who's the coach for the Titans now. That's sad. Nobody knows.
Their head coach is Brian Callahan.
Nobody knew who the coach was. That's not good. That's not good.
He did win a Super Bowl.
The Pats. So they got a quarterback and Brissett. They said that it was getting kind of close for the rookie over Brissett, but they chose Brissett over the rookie. Now, I'm gonna say this, and people gonna say I don't care because I'm still getting paid, but Brissett has been in the league and been on so many teams as that quarterback that's gapping the bridge for another quarterback to come in. When do you guys think that the Patriots may see what's it, Mayo? Is not Mayo. That's the head coach's name. The quarterback for the Patriots, the rookie. When do you guys think y'all see him? Because their bye week ain't till like week 13 or something. So do you guys think y'all? Go ahead.
I feel like we'll see that rookie quarterback come in once Brissett doesn't do well, or if Brissett gets injured.
Yeah, I was gonna say besides.
Or a competition happens where it makes Mayo have the rookie come in and say, "Hey, we're going to replace you because he's doing better in competition right now."
Yeah, I was gonna say because of besides him getting hurt, if they would put him out there. Next up.
So this would be his 15th.
Okay. Next up, the 15th.
I think they're going to put Drake May in second half against the Bengals.
Okay. Second half. I'm going to write that down. Second half. Bengals. Talking about the Dolphins and the Jaguars. So, Rich, what is it about Trevor Lawrence that you just you're not sold on right now?
He was way overpaid for mediocre talent. I mean, he's not even Tua. You know what I mean?
Okay.
He's Gino Toretta. He's a stand-in. Like I don't believe in him.
Do you think?
He even at Clemson, I didn't believe in him.
So let me ask you a question. Do you think he could be a good game managing quarterback, or do you think less of that?
I think less of that.
Wow.
Like I have him and Justin Herbert kind of in the same bracket. You know, those two are like 1 and 2 for mediocre. You know, they have strong arms. Decision making's a little shaky. I'd say that Lawrence is a little bit more mobile, but even with weapons around him, he looked like he might be a dumpster fire.
It ain't because he got long hair, is it?
You know. That's possible. They probably call him Sunshine in the locker room.
Oh my God!
You know.
Go ahead, Curry.
I want to know. I hear this term "game manager" tossed around a lot, and when I hear it, it almost sounds like you degrading the quarterback because he's a game manager. Don't you want a game manager? Don't you think that Roger Staubach was a game manager? He called his own plays and did all these things. Isn't that a game manager? You take Dan Marino. I mean, he wasn't he not a game manager? I mean, he saw what the defense was doing. He moved players around and did all these things. So when I hear that name, the term game manager, why does it feel like it's degrading the player, so to speak? Because I think any good quarterback is a game manager.
Okay, if nobody want to answer that question, I'm gonna say what my definition. Rich, you guys go ahead. Rich, go ahead. Rich.
I totally agree.
Okay, so I'm gonna look at.
I agree with him 100%.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this to you guys. I don't think Dan Marino was a game manager. I think Dan Marino was one of the elite quarterbacks out there. I think Roger Staubach was a elite quarterback out there. And I'm gonna say this: I think the reason why I feel that they're elite and not a game manager is because they can call the play, they can call the game without looking at their offensive coordinator. They know what play to run when it's 3rd and 4, and they know where to go. If they don't have to. Nobody has to put a mic. I mean the earpiece to them or hand signal to them. Jim Kelly, not a game manager. He was an elite quarterback. I think when you got Joe Montana was those types of quarterback. Ben Roethlisberger, I put him in that same category. It's a bunch of other quarterbacks I would put in that category. But I think though, when you don't have to use your offensive coordinator in the 2-minute drill and win a game, then you're above. To me, you're above a game manager. A game manager.
See, that's where I don't agree with that, because I don't feel like that's a good definition of a game manager. What you're saying is some guys can run an offense better than others. I think they're all a game managers. Aaron Rodgers, he's a game manager. He goes out there and manages the game. I mean, he knows what the defense is doing. Those guys are what I consider game managers, not some Joe Blow that has to don't know his butt from a hole in the ground. He's not a game manager.
So
he has to depend solely on what the offensive coordinator is telling him. And see, when the play breaks down, he don't know what to do. He's not a game manager, but he might go out there and win games for you.
So
that don't make him if you win in games, that you're a game manager.
So let me ask you a question. Do you think Kyler Murray is a game manager?
If you want to consider winning games a game manager, I don't even think he's. No, I don't think Kyler Murray is a game manager. No.
What about?
Because when I think of a game manager, I think of a person that can handle the game in crucial times.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. What about Lamar Jackson? Do you think he's a game manager?
I think yes, he can be a game manager because he can do so much with not just his arm, but he can do with his legs. So he can manage the game. When Lamar's on, he's on.
So
now he wasn't a game manager in that last game he played against the Chiefs. Now, if he had been a game manager, he'd have figured out, hey, I need to go back to this running game and do what we've been doing all along instead of throwing the ball deep downfield. That wasn't game managing. That was mismanagement.
And so that's what I'm saying, because as a game manager, you're going to figure it out in a way to keep your team close to the. You keep the game close enough where if you need a field goal, you drive them down the field and you get a field goal, you win. That's to me game manager. I think Lamar Jackson showed us that he's not a game manager against the Kansas City Chiefs, because Kansas City Chiefs threw something at him, and he said, "Hey." When I looked at the tape, I had nowhere to run. But he did have places to run, but he didn't run. But that's after he looked at the tape. So my thing is, they should have made a halftime adjustment to allow him to be the better person, better Lamar Jackson than what he was in the first half, and they didn't do it. So that's what to me, that shows me that he can't. To me, he's not a game manager in that game, because that game was the playoff game. So something mattered. Something really mattered in that game. But again, to me, in my opinion, I don't think. To me, you don't allow your quarterback to do the things that's best for the team because you don't think he has the capabilities of doing it on his own. And all the quarterbacks that I named, and if I look back, if I look right now, I would put Patrick Mahomes in there. I will put Joe Burrows in there. I will put The guy in Buffalo in there. I would put him in there. Josh Allen.
Can I say what game managers are?
Go ahead.
Game managers are people who know they have a good enough team to win. They just don't get in the way. Like Rich Gannon was for the Raiders. Like Brad Johnson was for Tampa Bay when they won the Super Bowl. What Trent Dilfer was when they won the Super Bowl for the Ravens. What Ben Roethlisberger was when he was still young in the league to win the Super Bowl in Seattle. But he grew into a great quarterback.
I agree with you.
Now can I say?
Go ahead.
Where I disagree with that, those guys that you mentioned, they weren't game managers. Those teams won in spite of those quarterbacks, not because of those quarterbacks. They didn't do anything to, like you said, they didn't do anything to wreck the game. But you can't count on those quarterbacks to win you games in adverse conditions, or no matter what the weather conditions are, or if you're down by 14 points, can you come back and win that game? That to me is a game manager, not some guy that's just holding on like that Trent Dilfer. I probably could have went out there and quarterbacked that team and won based on, Okay, Trent Dilfer might be a bad. Trent Dilfer wasn't a good quarterback at all.
Trent Dilfer, I agree. Trent Dilfer wasn't good. But Brad Johnson and Rich Gannon got their teams there.
But hold on, wait a minute. But you got to look at,
they were game managers.
But you got to look at Trent Dilfer though, because Trent Dilfer had the best Super Bowl game. That was his best game all year long in the Super Bowl. But see, what people don't understand or people don't realize is that Trent Dilfer went to them and said, "Look, I can't throw 80 yards. I can't throw 70 yards, but this is what I can do well. These are the things I can do well. And so let's implement the things that I can do well into the offense. And so that way I can still maneuver. I can finagle, maneuver, slither down the field to get us a field goal, get us a touchdown. And as long as you surround me by good players, I should be fine." But see, that's where he came in and said, "Look, I can't throw 70-yard bombs. Not no more. But this is what I can do well. I can throw that slant good. I can throw that 5 and out good. I can hit that post good." You know what I'm saying? So I think that, to me, he was a game manager because he kept it afloat. Like, and only thing he had to do was give Baltimore at that time 10 points. That's all he needed. If he could give him 10 points, the defense gonna get you another 7 easily with a turnover, because that's how good the defense was. But again, he had a great defense. But in the Super Bowl game, he showed up and showed out. You know what I'm saying? He didn't get the MVP, but he played his best football in the Super Bowl. But the same thing about Brad Johnson and Rich Gannon, to me, I think they're epitome of maybe being a game manager. But the other quarterbacks I named, I feel like they could take a team. Like, I'm gonna give you, for example, Joe Montana against Cincinnati Bengals in the Super Bowl. He had to go 90 yards, 80 yards, and Bill Walsh said, "I left it up to him." Bill Walsh was on the sideline, and if you watch that Super Bowl again, what made him change his plays was the personnel that came in the game at certain plays. He knew what certain plays to play. He knew what certain plays to call for those players. To me, that's elite quarterback. Dan Marino, elite quarterback. Dan Fouts, elite quarterback, because they could run the offense without even look. Jim Kelly could do it without never ever looking at the offensive coordinator or the head coach. That's just my opinion. But
you mentioned Trent Dilfer had his best game. I'd hate to think that was his best game, because I just looking here, he had an 80.9 passer rating and 153 yards passing and 1 touchdown. That ain't necessarily lights out numbers, to my opinion.
No.
But again, like I say, I didn't mean for this to be a can of worms, but I do think it's a good conversation.
Yeah.
But I still think the game manager can be elite.
Okay. I guess tomato. Next up, guys, the Raiders. And the Raiders are playing the Chargers. And both of you guys picked the Raiders. I'm going to say this. When I went to that game out there, the Raiders, there was some red and gold out there, but man, it was a whole lot of black and gray. I mean, a lot of black and gray. And I'm gonna say this: the Raiders should win this game, but don't be surprised if the Chargers got to do a silent count at home against this team, because the Raiders fans follow well. They follow that team wherever they go. So I kind of agree with you on the Raiders winning that game because of the fans and the silent count that goes on out in SoFi Stadium. Even with the Rams, it's the same thing. You have a home game and you got to do a silent count. That doesn't say a lot for your fan base. You know what I'm saying? I just don't understand it. Last one was the 49ers versus the Jets. With no left tackle, it's going to be really hard for the 49ers to win this game. Not saying they can't do it. I think it's going to be a better game than what people think. I think that even with Brandon AIYUK on the team, no left tackle, and no matter who, I don't know who the guy that's replacing the left tackle, but he's not as good as Trent Williams. And to be perfectly honest with you, I think they need to pay Trent Williams because he's outplayed his contract. The dude's he's one of the best he's one of the best left tackles in the NFL. You know, and so I get it, but my thing is San Francisco, they're trying to play hardball with these guys, and the reason why they're doing it is because they know they don't have any draft picks because of what they did with Trey Lance. So that kind of ate their draft picks up a little bit, and some of the salary cap. So I get it.
I'm out.
Would you say, Rich?
We got all them picks back. Them picks been gone. Like we
okay.
Got a first round draft pick this year.
Okay, so I thought the last pick they had was this year coming up, or was it this year?
Trey Lance is in like his 4th or 5th season.
Yeah, but he's with y'all for he was with y'all for 2 years though, right? Because y'all traded him. Yeah. Didn't y'all trade him last year?
And we shipped him off.
So he's in his 4th year of his. He's in the 4th year.
Yeah, he's in his 4th year.
Okay. All right. I thought there was another trade. I thought there was some more picks that y'all had to give up for him. All right. So anybody got any?
No, our first rounder got shot.
Yeah, I heard about that. I'm glad he's doing well, man. Prayers out to that young man and his family too. First of all, you're an NFL player. 3:00 in the morning. You know, look, what our dad used to tell us: ain't nothing open after 12, but trouble. So, young man, I hope you learned a lesson. I'm glad you're still around. But you're in San Francisco. And
he was walking out of the Louis Vuitton store in the middle of the day.
I thought they said it was 3. He was at 3. So they said 3:00. I'm thinking it's 3:00 at night.
3:00 in the afternoon.
Wow. So you're gonna rob somebody in the middle of the day?
Yeah.
That takes a lot of nerve, man. When they said 3:00, I'm thinking
he was a 17-year-old kid.
I'm thinking they said 3:00. I'm thinking they're talking about 3:00 in the a.m. Man, look here.
No.
Life, yo, that's crazy. To rob somebody in San Francisco at 3:00 p.m. is asinine. Excuse my French, but that makes no sense at all. What is this kid? This kid must be trying to get initiated into a gang or something to do something that stupid. But I'm glad he's not hurt seriously. But again, man, that you can't see. Oh Lord have mercy. That's why I'd rather be rich than famous, because nobody knows everybody that's rich. Everybody knows who's famous though. Not and actually I don't think he knew who the guy was. I think he just tried to rob him and then realized who he was at 17, because he apparently don't watch football. But I'm glad he's doing well, guys. I'm glad he's doing well. So those are my takes of the NFL. Anybody else got any questions or concerns? What's going on? All right. One more thing before we move on. So the Browns just redid Deshaun Watson's contract, and they say they got like 62 million cap space. So I don't know if they're gonna try to use it this year or next year. But the names that comes to mind is I don't know why Dak Prescott would be a name for them unless they're gonna release Deshaun Watson and have to eat that money. But Micah Parsons' name has come up in conversation, and a few other players' name had come up in conversation. for them to make that cap space. So I know they're looking for another wide receiver since they couldn't get Brandon AIYUK, but it was somebody else out there they were talking about getting, but can't remember who it was. But for them to make that bigger make up that bigger room, they got something in mind. They got something in mind, and
Devontae Adams.
Wow, that would be nice. Is that coming? Is that out of the blue?
$62 million.
Is that out of the blue, or you just saying? Or you read that?
Devontae is trying to get out of Oakland.
Right. He wants to go to the Jets though. So
or Las Vegas.
Yeah. So
I think he wants to go anywhere where he has a chance to win.
Yeah, because he's up in age now. So he definitely want to go somewhere where he wants to.
Yeah, he's getting up there. He's 30 plus, so it's like, it's time to get paid.
Exactly.
And get a title and get up out of there.
So God,
he can get that with the Browns.
He would definitely help it. Their chances.
Imagine Amari Cooper on one side and Devontae Adams on the other side.
Oof.
For a second, or not even a second, but for like a third or fourth round pick.
Yeah.
And then you put Jerry Jeudy in that mix with Chubb, Ford, and Joku. That's crazy. We're in Houston.
Yeah. That only thing Deshaun got to do is be a game manager on that one. So, guys, real quick.
That's it. Just do your job.
So, guys, AFC East. What team has the most pressure to make it to the postseason? The Jets, Dolphins, Patriots, or Buffalo?
Which team was?
What team in the AFC East has the most pressure to make it to the playoffs? Jets, Dolphins, Patriots.
Sorry.
All right. Who we got? Let me go back to my screen here. All right. So, let me put Dana back in here. Dana.
Yes, sir.
Okay. AFC East. Who got the most pressure to make it to the postseason? Jets, Dolphins, Patriots, or Bills?
It's a tie.
Between who?
The Jets and Buffalo. This Aaron Rodgers time running out. And it's time for Josh Allen to build something. And it got rid of your problems. It got you covered. You lost some veterans, but you got to show us what he paid you for.
Okay, Matthew.
I feel like the Jets, but not for Rodgers. I feel like the Jets have to go into playoffs this year. If not, I feel like Sauce Gardner, after his contract's done, or even sooner, he may request for like a trade or a release.
Okay. Curry.
Definitely the Jets. If they don't make the playoffs this year, there's going to be a lot of movement going on up there because Joe Douglas is going to be gone, Aaron Rodgers is going to be gone, the head coach is going to be gone. I'm serious. They're gonna clean house up there if the Jets don't make the playoffs this year with all the money that they spent. And you saying that if they don't make the playoffs, man, I'm not so sure that they survive if they make the playoffs and lose the first game out. Because I think the Jets' expectations in their own mind is going a lot further than just making the playoffs. But I think the Jets has a lot of pressure on them based on the money they spent and their expectations right now.
Mo.
It's easy to say the Jets or Buffalo. It's Miami, man.
You said Miami?
This is the year you're supposed to win the division. Buffalo cut a lot of players. people like Curry think that Aaron Rodgers ain't going to be healthy anyway.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's all the pressure's on Miami. And it's not just to make the playoffs, it's actually to win the playoff game or even go to the AFC Championship game. What are they paying for?
Okay. Rich.
Yes, sir.
Who got the most pressure? The AFC East.
I'm going to say, I think I'm going to go with Mo. I'm going to go with the Dolphins because I think they're built for a deep run.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I think that, they should be going, competing for Super Bowls with the roster that they have. I mean, the defense wasn't what it is today, but I mean, they should be competing for a Super Bowl. And I think Mike McDaniel just getting an extension, he's got to deliver.
Okay.
Period. With Buffalo dumping salary and the Patriots are terrible. The Jets, I mean, they're just trying to keep Robert Saleh out there in New York.
Yeah.
But they're playing for his job this year.
Okay. I'm gonna go with the Dolphins too because I think this is the division for the Dolphins. It's their division to lose. The Buffalo is going to be good, but the Buffalo's not going to be great because for some fact they gave Josh Allen all this money and now they can't spend on nobody else but him. He didn't want to restructure his contract or anything like that. So you end up losing a lot of defensive players in the process of doing what you're doing. So now he has to figure out how to make this thing work. If I'm Buffalo, actually I'm knocking on Vegas' door and asking them, yo, what can I do to get Devontae Adams here? Or I'm going to talk to, or I'm going to try to trade in T. Higgins. I'm trying to I have to get me one elite wide receiver from somewhere, and they didn't do anything to do that this year. So me personally, it's Miami or bust for me. I think Miami. This should be Miami's year to win the division and keep it moving. Because they have all the pieces. Even though one analyst said this is not the year for Buffalo. Next year will be the year for Buffalo to shine. But I think with Tua getting a new contract, he didn't take a lot of money, so they know they got to pay some people for next year. So there is some money still out there for them to rebuild on, if it's defense or if it's offense or whatever they need to do. So I'm going with the Dolphins have the most pressure. The AFC North, I'm gonna say it got to be the Baltimore Ravens. Okay. The reason why I'm saying Baltimore Ravens is because you got Derrick Henry there now, right? So now you got two running backs in the backfield. One's a quarterback and one's a running back, right? And so Derrick Henry should take some pressure off of Lamar Jackson if he has to run the football like he's been doing since he's been in the league. He's MVP. He got the MVP last year because of using his legs and his arm. So I'm putting the pressure on Baltimore because of the signing of Henry. Now, how long Henry gonna stay there is a different story, but I think they have the most pressure, in my opinion, to make the playoffs, and they have the best. I think they have the best chance of making because of Derrick Henry. So I think there's a lot of pressure on Baltimore if Baltimore stumbles a little bit. And if you guys look at the AFC North schedule, they play each other the last 6 weeks of the month. So it's going to be a determination of who wins when. And then weather becomes a factor because they all play outside in the element. So whoever's best fit for that element is going to probably be the team that's going to come out of that division. I really don't see two teams coming out of the division because it's going to be tough because Cincinnati's the only one that has an easier schedule out of the three. Pittsburgh, I think that some people think that if Pittsburgh has a losing season that Tomlin's going to get fired. I don't think Tomlin's going to get fired because we already know what the issue is with them with the quarterback. So they got to figure out how to get the quarterbacks ready. Cincinnati, Cleveland, Deshaun Watson just got to be just be 80% of Deshaun Watson and let your wide receivers, your running backs, and your tight ends do all the work for you. Just don't turn the ball over. But Baltimore, I think, also by losing the linebacker to Pittsburgh, is a big thing right there. They have to replace that guy right there. So I'm going with Baltimore. Matthew, who you got?
I feel like Cincinnati is the team that has the pressure to get into that wild card playoff spot or in playoffs in general in the AFC North because apparently with and the T. Higgins situation and them now trying to figure out if they're even able to get Jamar Chase to be the highest paid wide receiver by 1 cent. It's all going to come down to that winning because if they can get the winning going on both ends of the ball and get the sales in, and it can help them out next offseason. But if they don't win at all this season, then it's going to hurt them a lot in the offseason and could change Joe Burrow's future with.
Okay. Dana, who you got? Dana. I guess I think T-Mobile got him again. Mo.
Hello.
Dana.
I got Cleveland.
Okay, you got the Browns. Do you want to speak on why the Browns, or you just want to say the Browns?
Because today I was watching First State and Shannon Sharp. The Cleveland Browns and Dolphins are almost the same team. The offense loaded, the defense, but the Dolphins defense kind of loaded. It's just trying to put it on the field.
Okay. All right. Rich, who you got?
To be honest, I know the Steelers don't believe in firing coaches, but if Mike Tomlin don't make the playoffs this year, they might be considering it. I mean, I think they should have the most pressure of anybody, considering they got 2 quarterbacks that don't equal 1. And they have a defense primed for greatness, and they got the guys on the outside to get it done.
Okay.
And the running game is crazy. Like, they got the pieces. Freiermuth is not used, but he should be more involved in the offense. There's a whole lot, but I'm saying with Steelers.
Okay. Curry, who you got?
I got to go with the Steelers. I think it's more pressure on them to win. I mean, at what point does Mike Tomlin hadn't had a losing season? When is that going to get stale? I mean, when is he going to have a winning season and get in the playoffs? That's what the fans, if I'm a fan, that's what I want to see. I don't care nothing about you ain't had no losing season. That's like Miami Dolphin fans that constantly talking about the Dolphins, the only team that went 17-0, and every year when the last team loses, they celebrate. Man, throw that crap. You can miss me with that. I don't care about that. What are you doing today? That's what I want to see. So I think as a Steeler fan, I think I want to see them get over the top, get in the playoffs, forget about all that. You ain't had a losing season. And I agree that if he can go with 500, he can't do 500, but he can go 9-8 or whatever and don't make the playoffs, he's out.
All right. Mo, who you got?
Y'all some funny people. Y'all hilarious. They just gave him a 3-year extension and y'all say he gonna get fired. First of all, the Steelers don't get fired. Second of all, we ain't firing Mike Tomlin because we already know he would get, if we're gonna do anything, we'll trade him because he wanna go. We ain't gonna fire him. That's stupid. So first of all, I'm gonna give you the reason because I know the whole division. Steelers don't have the most pressure because we have the worst record ever created by anybody, having all 6 of our division games played in the last 9 games of our season. That's just wrong. So the Steelers get a pass already. The Bengals have to win this year because they're gonna lose T. Higgins next year. They also gave away Nixon for nothing, or whatever his name was, the running back for nothing. So they have a lot of pressure, but they don't have the most pressure. Baltimore gave up 3 offensive linemen, middle linebacker, and some of their safety defensive backs. This should be the last year for them to win, but I think Lamar gets hurt because of the offensive lineman being gone. So they're going to lose that stretch. It has to be the Cleveland Clowns. You guys traded money and picks for Jerry Jeudy, and you paid him. Jerry Jeudy, who Steve Smith called the worst wide receiver in the AFC.
You gonna stop disrespecting my team, calling the
And
Cleveland?
y'all traded for him
Clowns.
and paid him. Nick Chubb is hurt. He might not even play off you. And y'all didn't pick up another running back. If you think Jerome Ford is it. And you didn't give Deshaun any more protection. Y'all took the line got worse because they got older. You didn't get younger. So all the pressure's on Cleveland, man.
Okay. All right. So
Because y'all made the playoffs last year. You got to do it again. I don't think you will.
no, it's gonna be. I can see 10-7 again, but it's gonna be rough. It's gonna be rough.
They're going to win the division.
Okay, let's go to AFC South. Jaguars, Titans, Texans, and Colts. Matthew, who you got?
I feel like the team that's under pressure in that division is only the Colts. And that's only because with Jonathan Taylor and with the current situation they got with quarterbacks, if they want to get a better quarterback down the road, Richardson ain't going to be that guy unless he steps it up. But other than that, I feel like the Colts just need to develop on average time because they're just nothing but a trash boat.
Okay. Dana, who you got? AFC South. Who got the most pressure to make the playoffs?
I have the Jaguars.
Why them?
Cause the money. Oh no. All right, scratch that. I have the Texans. All the hype with CJ Stroud, yeah, man. We gonna see.
Okay. Curry, who you got?
I got to go with the Texans. I just think they got a target on their back this year. I personally don't expect them to be as good as they were last year. I know they had a pretty good season, but the Jaguars were down and the Colts were down. So they pretty much had a layup to get in there, and they barely got in last year, if you remember that. They just barely got in based on, I think they got in on percentage points anyway, but I just don't think they're going to be as good, but I think there's going to be enough pressure on them to get in.
Okay. Rich, who you got?
Who are we talking about? I'm sorry. I have a few things going on.
AFC South. Who got the most pressure to get in the playoffs?
I would say the Jaguars. I think Trevor Lawrence got to prove it. I think they got in the 1 year. It was kind of fluky. About 3 out of there. I just don't believe in Trevor Lawrence, and I think he has to show that his team and the NFL and the fans that he is who they drafted, because I don't believe in him. He's RG3.
Mo, who you got?
It's got to be the Texans, man. Giving all that money to trading for for Diggs. They also gave a defensive tackle money. They went all in this year. So they better hope CJ Stroud actually takes a step forward. If he sustains I think people might actually catch on to him. But they got a lot of good weapons around him, man. Picking up Nixon. What is his name? Why can't I think of his name? The running back for the that used to be for Cincinnati.
Mixon.
Joe Mixon.
Joe Mixon.
Mixon. Okay, Mixon. And picking up Mixon was a good pickup. And they still got the hardest runner in the world behind him in running back too.
Okay.
So I think they got a really good
Damian Pierce.
Yep, Damian Pierce.
Okay. I'm gonna go with the Texans too. I think I want to see C.J. Stroud do it again this sophomore year, because we know what happens once they get all that film on you. They know how to defend against you. So if he can come out and light it up like he did last year, then the Texans is real. If they can do what they did last year, you could almost slide them into the AFC Championship game against I would say against Kansas City if they can bring Diggs in there and they work well together. But again, you know how these defensive coordinators are up all night long trying to figure out how to find out the weaknesses of these quarterbacks, and I think they might have found it. Well, we'll see going forward for the AFC South. NFC West. Shit. You got the Broncos, Chargers, Raiders, and the Chiefs. Wow. I'm gonna go out and say is the Kansas City Chiefs because they won a three-peat. That's the only reason I'm saying it's pressure on them to go, because they talked about it before and they said they're gonna three-peat. So I think the pressure's on Kansas City to get in the playoffs. Dana, what you got for us?
The Kansas City Chiefs for the same reason.
Okay.
No team has never three-peated. So.
Okay. Matthew, who you got?
I feel like the Chargers are going to be on pressure because with Harbaugh back in the NFL, I feel like NFL fans in general, not us, but the other 96%, I feel like they want Harbaugh in the playoffs in that first year. If not, there's only people out there saying that he should be fired.
Okay. Curry, who you got?
Definitely the Raiders. I think the Harbaugh, he's not going anywhere. The John Payton, he's not going anywhere. But the Raiders coach, man, he's under a lot of pressure to win this year. If he don't win, you know how those Davis people are out there. They're not like Steelers. They ain't gonna just sit on one coach for forever, even though, when you got to win if you're going to be a Raiders coach. And unlike Pittsburgh coach, he ain't won a playoff game in 14 years, but yet they think they give him a 3-year extension. That ain't happening out there in Oakland. Not Oakland, but Las Vegas. So I'm saying the Raiders have the most pressure on them to win.
Ooh, win, baby, win. Mo, who you got?
Did he really just say 14? Wait a minute. Did he really just say 14 years? So he just take 7 and just multiply it by 2.
Oh,
It's got to be Denver.
So when was the last time Steelers won a playoff game?
Wait a minute, Mo.
8 years ago, bro.
Mo.
We went to the AFC Championship game.
What's that, 14 years ago? 15 years ago when they won the Super Bowl?
Yeah, get your boy.
No. Hey.
Moving right along.
No. Go ahead. Let's talk about it. Mo, when's the last time the
8 years ago, we went to the AFC Championship game.
Against who?
It's against New England. We lost because Le'Veon got hurt in the second play of the game.
Oh, that's a while ago. How many years ago was that? 8?
8 years ago.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't 14.
Oh, okay. All right. Rich, who you got?
Well, it's been 14 years. Go ahead and fact check me on it, if you will.
Can I finish about the AFC West or whatever?
Rich, go ahead, Rich. Hey, Matthew, look that up for us, please. I know.
He just gonna cut me out. Okay.
Oh, wait a minute. You said your team. You said the Broncos. Oh,
You didn't let me explain.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Because the Steelers won 8 years ago. Now, okay. All right. So Denver, because they cut Russell Wilson, and they say they're better at quarterback now. So if you're better at quarterback now, you got to be better than the Steelers. And we play week 2.
See, now hold on. You're just doing that for the Steelers. Because he's a rookie quarterback. Now, if he was in year 3 or 4, then yeah, we can talk about that as a good problem. But he's a rookie quarterback, for your information.
Did you see what your father said that we're better at quarterback this year?
Yeah, Sean Payton made a comment saying he said we're better at quarterback this year than we was last year. So basically, what he's saying is that Bo Nix is better than Russell Wilson, which I find out hard to believe. They might be the same age though.
Bo Nix about 4 or 5 years older.
All right, Rich, who you got?
This is a terrible. I'm gonna say Kansas City for the same reason really. Like that, the rest of that division is
it's terrible.
It's all bad.
All right, let's move on to the NFC East. We got the Eagles, Giants, Commanders, and the Cowboys. Matthew, who do you think has the most pressure to make it to the playoffs?
Most pressure to make it to the playoffs? I think it's going to be the Cowgirls because they want to keep Mr. Dak Prescott, but I feel like they aren't really going to. They won't get there, but it ain't going to be easy for them, despite the add-backs that they got in the add-ons.
So let me ask you a question. What do you think has to happen in Dallas for Prescott to stay there? So let me ask you guys a question. Do anybody believe that if they don't sign Dak Prescott by this season that he's going to leave and go somewhere else? Do anybody believe that? Yes or no?
Yes, I believe it.
Okay, Curry.
Franchise him.
Curry, what you think?
They're not getting rid of Dak. He'll still be there. They'll get rid of the coach, but they're not going to get rid of Dak. I don't see him going nowhere.
Matthew, what you think?
I think Dak is going to leave, but if I'm the Cowboys, and there's reports that have been out in the last 4 days now that the Cowboys are in talks with Seattle to go make a trade to go get DK Metcalf to help out Dak with that amazing wide receiver core. So that gives Dak more options instead of his usual 1-2. He's going to have that extra combo in there if we do decide to do that.
So what, if that trade happens, what is Dallas giving up?
Right now, we're looking at draft picks.
Okay.
Draft picks just because we don't believe Geno is going to be there, and we feel like in the mock drafts we're going to pick up Shedeur Sanders. So, like, what Dallas gives up would be a weapon for Shedeur if we were to draft him in next year's draft.
So you telling me Geno still has not reported to camp?
He has, but it's bare minimum. So, like, we're expecting him not to. Like, after this year, we're not really expecting that much with him. And with the recent mock draft and the signing we did today on a practice squad QB who's probably going to be used in for next season as a backup. We're looking to get ready to end the Geno era soon and getting ready for who the next potential QB is, whether it's Shedeur Sanders or Sam Howell, who we got from Washington.
Well, okay. That makes no sense to me, Geno sitting out. He got money. Now he expects to get paid elite money, but don't give elite job at playing the game of football. I mean, he got him in. He got you on the playoffs in 1 year, right? When he was there.
Yep, 1 year wild card.
Yeah. Dana, real quick, what do you think is going to happen to Dak? Do you think Dak stays or goes?
I think Dak stays.
Okay. All right. So Matthew got Cowboys. Mo, who you got? Most pressure on?
Cowboys, no question. I don't think Dak stays. So I think they have the most pressure because they also going to lose him. Then Micah's going to probably leave in 2 years. It's going to be so amazing to see the Cowboys fall.
So let me ask you a question. What does Dallas have to do other than win the Super Bowl for Dak to stay? Does he have to get
championship game?
Does he have to get to NFC Championship to stay there? Is that enough?
No, they just got to pay him. That's all.
So let me ask you guys a question. They get to the NFC Championship game and lose. Does McCarthy keep his job and does Dak stay?
I think McCarthy's fired.
Rich, what'd you say? Go ahead, Rich.
I think McCarthy's fired either way.
Okay.
Like, I like McCarthy, but I just don't think McCarthy's a good fit with Dallas.
Okay. Mo,
They get to the NFC Championship game, they both stay. They're not getting rid of that. You don't break that up.
okay. Mo, would you had a comment?
I don't know. They fired Tony Dungy after a Super Bowl.
Mo, you had a comment?
Did Tony Dungy make it to the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Tony Dungy made it to the Super Bowl and he got fired.
Yeah.
He didn't make it.
With Tampa Bay, he made it to the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
He didn't make it to the Super Bowl in Tampa Bay.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, he made that.
Very good.
No, he didn't. John Gruden took their team to the Super Bowl.
Gruden, after
Right.
he was
Gruden took him to the
No,
Super Bowl.
Tony Dungy took the coach to Super Bowl, right?
But he didn't get fired. He
lost.
No, he got,
Okay.
yeah, he got fired from Tampa Bay. Well, traded. He was traded.
Yeah. Curry, who you got?
Most pressure in the NFC to win.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going with the New York Football Giants because they got to do something here. I just think I can see Brian Daboll being fired before the season. If halfway gone, if they don't win, I don't see him lasting the whole season. So I think that's where the pressure's at right there.
Okay. Mo, all right.
I don't see Dallas being under any pressure because Dallas, as somebody stated, McCarthy's probably going to be going anyway. I don't see them reaching the NFC Championship game, but unless they reach the NFC Championship game, I think McCarthy's going. But I do think Dak's going to stay.
Rich, who you got?
I have Philadelphia Eagles, really. Like, they had a lot of craziness, about the locker room and, just different things. They got rid of a few pieces on the defense. Got pretty much a new offensive line for the most part. I'm not, and Jalen Hurts, although it's good, but I'm just not a believer in Trevor Lawrence to me.
Okay. Hey,
So I'm going with the Eagles.
Okay. Hey, update, man. Boston College is beating Florida State 14-0. Remember we talked. We're gonna talk about that if we get a chance to about what team. Oh, it's 8:45 already. Oh my goodness. We might not get to it, but we might get to it next week. But we talked about what team in the top 10 was gonna lose this week, and it looked like it could be Florida State. But Florida State didn't they lose already?
Yep, they lost last week to Georgia Tech.
To Georgia Tech.
Yo, if they lose to Boston College, somebody getting fired.
I heard the hiring Kev Diggs after that game.
Yo, it better be
They
good.
pulled this quarterback out of the portal. It's terrible.
They better hope that game is in
Almost
Florida.
Seminoles fans sorry.
I think that game is in Florida, right? The only thing you gotta do is clean out his locker.
Well, yeah, it's a home game.
Lose against Boston College if you want to, and it's over with.
They need to fire this quarterback.
Dana, NFC East, who has the most pressure on them?
AFC.
Who?
What? Who said
NFC East.
Out of who?
Eagles, Giants, Commanders, and Cowboys. Who you said?
Oh, I say if that gonna get fired for the Cowboys.
Okay. All right, so we got everybody. So I'm last. I think it's the Eagles. Well, no. Yeah, I'm gonna say the Eagles because the Cowboys gonna mess it up some kind of way. They always do, always have. I think with the Eagles, I think Dak is gone. If Dak doesn't get a contract before the season starts, I think he's going I don't want to negotiate. I don't want to talk until the season's over with. Regardless of how the season ends for him, he's going to get paid. The Raiders' name's been out there. The Rams' name's been out there. The Saints' name's been out there. But I think he's going to want to go to a team that has persona of having the opportunity to win for a championship. And what better way for him to stay? Let's say he's go to the Rams, and he gets to play against the Dallas Cowboys. Yo, that'd be a slap in the face for the Dallas Cowboys if that doesn't happen. I honestly believe that he's leaving. I would love for him to stay in Dallas. I think he's a good fit for them. Dallas needs to think about a backup real soon because Trey Lance ain't that dude, right? But I'm gonna go with the Eagles because Nick Sirianni, something's not right in that house right now. And so I think the Eagles have the most pressure to get back to playoffs because let's think about and you guys can think about this for next week as well. What team is going to be the Pittsburgh Steelers, who was like 11-1, and they fell flat in their face, and then next year the Philadelphia Eagles do the same thing. So that's just something for homework. Who you think could be that team that could go 11-1 and end up in the playoffs and lose the first round, like Pittsburgh did and like Philadelphia did. It started off so good and it ended up so bad. So I got the Eagles. NFC North. I'm gonna say the Chicago Bears. And the reason I'm gonna say the Chicago Bears is because no rookie quarterback has ever came in the league and had all the weapons that he has on offense. And they do have a pretty good defense. If you think about how they ended the season last year, they were in the top 10, I think top 10, top 5 defensively, playing great football. So you add on to that, you bring in some couple players. You got a young wide receiver. You got another good wide receiver and more. So I'm gonna go with the Chicago Bears because everybody wants them because they have already. We have never seen a rookie quarterback have this much talent before. Surrounded by him. The only thing he got to do is get the ball to the playmakers and make plays. Dana, who you got in the NFC North? Has the most pressure?
The Green Bay Packers.
Okay.
I think Jordan Love is in the same boat with CJ Stroud.
Okay, that's fair to say. All right. Rich, who you got?
Who are we talking about? I'm sorry.
NFC North.
The most pressure. Chicago.
You said the Bears?
You know, they put together a nice team. Yeah, Chicago. I think they put together a nice team. If they look to succeed, and the defense is improved, I think Chicago has a lot of pressure to make the playoffs.
Okay. Curry, who you got?
I got to go with Detroit. Simply because of the way it ended for them last year. They should have been in that Super Bowl, man.
Yes,
and
they should have.
You remember the
Man.
And his post-game interview, man, that guy was beat up bad, man. He man, I don't know if we'll even get back this way. And his confidence was gone. If you remember his post-game interview, it wasn't real pretty, man. And I just think that they're going to be under a lot of pressure to get into the playoffs, especially with Chicago feeling pretty good about themselves. Green Bay starting to feel good about themselves. And Minnesota, I mean, they're not going to be a team that's just going to roll up and close the shop up because they lost their quarterback. Because I do think that they still got some pieces in place. So I put the pressure on Detroit to win.
Okay. Mo, who you got?
I don't want to say Detroit because I think that's too easy. I'm gonna say I don't want to say Green Bay either though. I'm gonna say Chicago. I'm gonna say the Bears.
Okay.
Because they have hyped up. They gave Caleb Williams so many good weapons. Keenan Allen, he has DJ Moore. Then they also drafted Roma Duze. Then they also got DJ Swift in the background, in the backfield.
Mm-hmm.
I think they have a good defense already. So I think they need to take a step. If they don't take a step this year, the coach and the GM are gone probably.
Okay. Matthew, who you got?
I am going to go with the Bears also. And it has to do with the pressure with Caleb Williams, even though he just got drafted. The announcement earlier today is what got me selecting the Bears. How often do you see a rookie be a team captain of a team? Because today he did get selected to be a team captain. And to be a team captain, I feel like has to be that management of a team that we were talking about, like a player manager.
Mm-hmm.
And we're way too early for him to be a team captain unless there's something we don't know of where he is a team manager.
Okay. AFC North. I mean NFC South. This is a toss up right here. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna say the Buccaneers. Let's see if they can repeat winning that division again. Dana, who you got? AFC South.
I'm having the Buccaneers too.
Okay. Rich, who you got?
Who is it? The Bucks, Panthers, Saints,
And the Falcons.
and I'm gonna say the Bucks to repeat.
Okay. Curry, who you got?
This may sound crazy, but I think it's the entire NFC South. I think if New Orleans don't make that coach is gone. Atlanta don't make it, Raheem Morris, he's gone. If Tampa Bay don't make it, that coach is gone. And Carolina, because that is the weakest division of all. You go out there and win 9 games, you could probably win that division and get you a home playoff game. So I think if any one of those teams do not make the playoffs, they're all going to be coaching change. Maybe Carolina's coach gets to survive because it's his first year, but those other three, they're all under pressure.
Well, Raheem just got to Atlanta, so he got a new contract with them. So I don't see him going nowhere. They're not gonna fire him.
Man, don't let that new contract stuff. These teams will buy these contracts out in a minute, man. They give you a contract just to get rid of you.
Oh, okay. Mo, who you got?
Does it even really matter? Do we care about any team in this division? It does matter. They all suck.
So
I'm gonna say the same.
Okay.
So we don't call them names.
Matthew, who you got?
I'm going to go with the Saints, and I'm going to say it's for actual reasoning, not what Bo's saying. Just to say.
That's cold.
The Saints, right now, they might be, well, I consider an underrated team that should be able to go into the playoffs, and if they don't, there's going to be some problems because they got Chase Young on defense now. They still got Kamara at running back, and then you got a nice tight end route with Taysom Hill and Juwan Johnson and Spencer Rattler back there at third string is also nice. But the defense is what got me going. Like, if you look at their full safety with Taran Malatuli, I think that's how his last name is, and Marshawn Lattimore, and then you got Kool-Aid McAllister. If you add that with Chase Young and Nathan Shepard, the Saints should be like that underrated team to watch out for in the league as a whole.
Okay. NFC West. Matthew, who you got has the most pressure to make the playoffs?
Arizona.
Ooh, Cardinals.
Arizona because
Okay.
Yeah, because right now you think the Cardinals are that team that are willing to, at this point, like, you're already giving Murray what he needs, which is you got to perform it. And I haven't seen that performance for Arizona yet in the defense. Who knows if Budda Baker wants to lead Arizona or not, or anyone else within the Cardinals organization.
Okay. Mo, who you got?
We still talking about bad divisions now?
NFC West.
Okay, I'm joking. This one ain't bad. All right, I will say the hardest one on this one is probably Seattle. The reason I say Seattle is because they still sticking with Geno, man. They should have gone for a quarterback last year. They traded for Hartman from Washington and recycling quarterback.
Okay.
Sooner than later, they have to find their franchise quarterback.
Okay. Curry, who
Geno ain't it. Hartman better be it, and if not, they got next year.
Okay. Curry, who you got?
Well, I mean, I know it's not going to be the 49ers because I think they're in the playoffs. They just do everything right. I don't think it's Seattle because they just got a new head coach, and I think he gets a pass because if he don't make the playoffs, he'd be all right. Not Sam McVay, but McVay, he's safe. So I'm going to have to go with that other team, the Cardinals, man. You know, I think that's the pressure right there.
Okay. All right. Dana, who you got? NFC West. Most pressure.
I had a 49er.
Okay.
Because the coach is trash. He's overrated like his father.
Oh, my God.
2 Super Bowls away.
Oh.
2 Super Bowls away. And you got that man fired. That defense is number 5. 1 through 5. He played his best in the Super Bowl. And you got working in there. Not creative. Oh, you're supposed to be creative. It's the same dude that lost Atlanta the Super Bowl when they were so 28 on the paper. Think about it. Think about it. Think about it.
Okay, Rich.
Mike Tomlin safe.
Rich, who you got?
I'm kind of with Dana. Like, I'm thinking the 49ers, like, the coach got to prove that he can win. Like, you've been there twice. You keep getting walked down. You know, like, you got to be able to hold the lead. Like, that's where I'm at. It's the 49ers.
Okay. I'm going to go with the 49ers as well because the reason I'm saying the 49ers right now is because cap getting ready to hit them because they got to pay Brock Purdy. And they got to still pay Trey Williams. And then I think is Debo's contract coming up, or did he just sign a new contract? Is he safe? Kittle's, are them guys safe?
No, Debo is probably going to be a cap casualty. He doesn't have any more guaranteed money left. So,
okay. And go ahead.
Oh no, I really like this is it for this team. Like, if we don't win this year, they busting it up regardless. We can't carry this cap and get younger.
Yeah, that's my whole thing is that you know, like Dana said, he done lost 2 Super Bowls. Well, he actually done lost 3 Super Bowls, two for the 49ers and 1 for Falcons. It don't look good on his resume. It's not winning a big one. And I'm not saying I don't think it came down to coaching. I just think that maybe they just played better teams. Other than the Patriots game, that was just horrendous. That was horrendous. They had 95.5% chance of winning that Super Bowl and lose that Super Bowl, you know, behind him being the coach. I think with the 49ers, he has what he needs there. It's just that I don't know. It just I can't. I mean, Patrick Mahomes is a different type of dude. You know what I'm saying? You're going against Patrick Mahomes. So
he's had what he needs along with the lead.
Right.
And he still loses that game.
So I'm going with the 49ers too. Plus they can't beat the Rams in the playoffs. They can beat them during the season, but they can't beat them in the playoffs. So that's my pick too. I think 49ers have more pressure now than they ever had before. Guys, believe it or not, we're at 9 o'clock already. Go ahead, Curry.
Hey, I was gonna say, I know Shanahan. He's lost some Super Bowls, but man, that guy has had the worst luck. You look at that Super Bowl with the New England. There's no way that wasn't all on him. That probably some on the quarterback too. But that first loss to the Chiefs, if Garoppolo would have been a game manager, he would have won that game.
He missed Kittle's big time
because he definitely missed a throw in the end zone, which would have won that game. But and then last year they had the coin toss thing. So
in the game with Garoppolo, he had Kittle's wide open right before half.
We were up 10 in the fourth.
If he makes that pass to Kittle's right before halftime, they probably go on and win that game.
If he would have ran the ball. Run the ball.
If he would have been a game manager.
Oh my God. All he had to do was hand the ball off and we win that game. But he puts the game in Jimmy Garoppolo's hands like he needs the quarterback to win this game.
Yeah, and
Jimmy, you don't need it, just run the ball.
And Jimmy definitely is a game manager because you saw what happened at the end of that thing right there. All right, guys, we didn't get nowhere close to what we were going to talk about today, so I apologize. This part was getting good. So we didn't get a chance to talk about college football or anything like that. So we'll resume that next week. We didn't talk about the NBA, WNBA, which is getting hot. We did talk about the most pressure and beyond NFL. We didn't talk about the NFL holdouts. We talked about Brandon AIYUK's contract. We didn't get a chance to talk about Steph Curry getting the bag for what reason we don't know. And I wanted to get my soapbox about high school football. So we didn't really touch on none of that stuff, but that's okay. That's okay. I think we had a good show today. We went through everything, and Talked about football. Talked a little baseball. Probably talk about baseball a little less next week. Like I said, maybe we talk about the wild card situation unless somebody in the division changes, like New York fumbles the baseball and lets Orioles catch up to them or something of that nature. So, hey guys, appreciate you. See you guys next Monday. I don't think I have. I got to look on my sheet and see if I got see if I have a soccer game. Or I know I have a JV game. Yes, sir.
You own it 6 since it's a Monday night game.
Say that again.
Are you gonna be on at 6?
Yes,
since
sir.
It's a Monday night game.
Yes, sir. We're gonna do 6 to 8 so that everybody can watch Monday Night Football, unless you got and right now I don't know what's going on because I still got DirecTV for my basic cable. I turned it on today to watch First Take and it's not even on. No ESPN was.
Oh yeah. Last night, DirecTV cut it off all ESPN and ABC channels relating to Disney because they couldn't agree for DirecTV to pay a higher amount, or Disney, someone between the two, with money.
That's just crazy, man. That's crazy.
And everyone now, majority of people I know that had DirecTV for the TV purpose is now switching over to YouTube TV.
And so I have both, but I have both because my wife liked Lifetime or whatever that channel is, and I can't find it on YouTube or anywhere else unless I know you guys supposed to be sending me some information about somebody's supposed to be sending me the information inbox about some TV channels. I ain't got it yet, so hint hint. But anyway, guys,
I sent your Power Group TV 4 times.
You ain't inbox me nothing. You ain't inbox.
Dana was gonna send you something.
Yeah, ain't nobody inbox me nothing. Oh my God, Dana, let me unmute you. Dana, you all right over there?
Hey man, T-Mobile sucks, man. Hey man, we gotta do that draft over. Nobody done pick nothing for me. My mama didn't pick out my food for me.
Oh my God. All right, guys. Hey, good luck this week, Thursday, Friday, and this weekend coming up. Just good luck, and we will talk on Monday. I'll let you guys know in the chat about Monday for sure. And Rich, I'll give you a call. I'm gonna give you a call tomorrow, sometime tomorrow because my stomach's growling. I haven't had nothing to eat today. So we'll talk about how to edit this stuff and make it better than what it is. But I appreciate you guys coming on again as always. There's a lot of fun doing what we're doing, man. I enjoy it. I really enjoy talking sports with you guys. You guys all are passionate. You guys are passionate about your teams and things like that. So I really appreciate it, man. And hopefully we can get this situation together where we can bring you guys back on the air. So everybody starts. So I want other people to see not just me, but see you guys as well. So again, thank you guys for being patient with me on this situation. And hopefully we, like I said, we can get this thing to work in the correct way. So with that being said, let me see here real quick. Has Boston College scored more points? 14-6.
Yeah, 14-6.
14-6 Boston College. And they so they still at 10. So they should have, when they lost, they should have jumped out. They should have got out of the top 10. So all right, guys. Let me see what we're looking at. Outro.
Hey, Kevin, one question before you go.
Yes, sir.
The guy that had on the show that was with the Jacksonville Jaguars, do you have an update on him?
No, I haven't. And actually, let me look real quick to see if he's on that roster. Let's see here. Depth chart. Wide receiver, Christian Kirk, Peter Washington, David White, Gabe Davis, No, he didn't make the roster. I don't
He
even.
was on the practice squad.
He may have made that practice
He
squad.
may have made the practice squad. I'm to find out from Coach Gray if he made the practice squad.
That's great.
Because I watched him play. He looked pretty good.
He did. That's what I saw of him. He did look good.
Yeah. Unless he got hurt or something. So.
Against Tampa, right?
Yeah. Jacksonville. He got drafted by Jacksonville.
Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Jaguars.
Yep.
Don't say he looked in the game. He was good in the game against Tampa.
Oh, okay. All right, guys. Y'all guys have a good night, man. Be blessed. Be safe out there.
Thank you for listening to the Just Us Sports Talk Show. You have been entertained in the sports world by K. Diggs from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, the small city with a large heart, Dana the Hater Clark from St. Petersburg, Florida, and Murray E. Baskerville from Gotta Be More Careful, Baltimore, Maryland. Remember, we throw stones and we do live in glass houses. Big-time players make big-time plays and big-time games. Stay ready to be ready. You have been listening to an In the Zone Sports Talk Radio production. Remember, you can hear us again on star107fm.com on Saturdays from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be sure to download the Try99 TV app on any smart device and subscribe to In the Zone Sports Talk Television. The cost is $4.95. Thank you in advance for your support. Thank you for